letting us know that their first time joining us. So if it is your first time, we'll drop a link in the chat so that you become a member with Initiate Justice and receive any updates from us. For those of you that joined us in person and have registered, you already are on our mailing list, so you will be being bothered by myself and my team. We promise to make those emails look pretty and not overbearing. So as I said, we do have a lot of our staff, all our staff here in person. I do want to take a step back to let some of my team members introduce themselves. Go ahead, kick it off.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Guadagnaz. I use her pronouns and I am the comms manager. And hi everyone on Zoom.
By the way, I'm trying to manage looking at both. It was my first time doing it. It was the first something new we're starting this year and want to continue to do the in-person and virtual aspect. So with that, I'll pass it over to Alyssa.
Hi everyone, Alyssa here. Justice. I am the executive assistant here, and excited to be in space with y'all. See a lot of new faces, familiar faces, so excited to be here and celebrate 2026 and see what all of us have planned for 2026 together. And Cloud, also everyone on Zoom.
Yay!
Or you can.
Can they see me? Please see me, I'll come over
There
here.
you go.
Hey, everybody, I'm over here. I'm Adriana, I'm statewide advocacy manager here with Initiate Justice. So y'all who are down here in LA don't see me too often because I live up north, I live in Stockton, but I'm so pleased and grateful to be here with y'all on stage tonight. So hi everybody on Zoom, nice to see some familiar faces and some new ones. So welcome, thanks for being here. Next. Yay!
Over there. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm Liz Kim. I'm the policy director, Initiate Justice Share Programs, and I also live in Sacramento because the council is there. And I'm happy to see everybody, new faces, old faces. Hello. Hello.
Go ahead, you first. You first. Go ahead. Walk in soon.
Okay.
Oh,
You did late.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for being here. Hello, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for being here as well. My name is Adam Kane. I'm an Inside Program Coordinator for Initiate Justice, and I work alongside Lee in the Inside Organizing Department.
All right. Hey.
Hey, no, I'm good. This is my boss right here, Adam Kane. I told you already. My name is Lee Gibson. I'm the community advocacy manager with Initiate Justice and responsible for basically all of the inside organizers, training folks up inside on how they can get involved in the legislative process. And yeah, programs. I'm happy to be here, guys.
I'm back on. Where? No, it's on mute there, but it's here. All right. So y'all got a little sneak peek at some of the energy we're bringing for this year. We hope you all are excited to join us this year. You will be hearing from our team a little bit more. Again, this kickoff event. There you go. Hi, Dolores. We did want to kick it off, not with some slide presentation. I was like, I'm not doing slides. I'm not kicking off this year. If you can, please mute. There you go. Please stay on mute. And then if you do have a question or anything, you can raise your hand, those joining us on Zoom. As I mentioned, we're excited for this year, right? We know it takes all of us to do the work that we do. So you will hear from each of our departments to see ways you can get involved, get connected. I know many of us have busy lives, so there's going to be a lot going on, but trust us, we're finding quicker ways to get involved, quicker ways to advocate. But I do actually want to take a step back and say, how many here in person and by show of hands on Zoom are joining us for the first time? This is your first Initiate Justice Community meeting. Welcome. Welcome all of you to our space. Please let us know in the chat how you heard of us. We'll have some conversations over here. Many of us have already done that. But here at Initiate Justice, we fight to end incarceration by activating the power of those directly impacted by it, right? And that is us. That is those that are formerly incarcerated, those that have loved ones that have been incarcerated, right? As y'all heard, those inside are still fighting for their freedom, right? We want to make sure that we're on the front lines, that we're in those meetings, that we're talking to our representatives to help change these laws, because these are people that are making laws that have never experienced being incarcerated, right? Or having a loved one incarcerated. So how are they making these decisions without it, right? Since we started over 9 years ago now, that is something that we have done. We're changing the game when it comes down to that. We're letting it be known that we do belong in Sacramento. We do belong in our district offices, right? But as I mentioned, we're a team of 11, 12, 10, 11.
10 to 12.
10, right? Many people still ask us, we're growing, I promise you, we're growing. But many always ask us, like, how do you all do it, right? And again, this is how we do it, right? By all of you that are joining us online, all of you that are answering our emails, those calls to action when we need to make changes. So for those that are joining for the first time, Adriana, if you can drop my email. Please, what I want to do this year is really create a space for those that have questions of Initiate Justice. So feel free to email me at Ephraim@initiatejustice.org. Reach out to me. Let's connect. We'll answer some more questions. Again, you're going to hear more about our departments a little bit later. But we definitely do want to answer those questions, right? Know how you got here. Maybe you have questions, ways you can get involved. You're going to hear some of that today, but we do want to create a space for our community members, allies, community partner organizations, right? We need to build together. We know that we need to do that this year, more so than ever, with everything going on. It is an election year, right? So we're going to need to get out there, have people register to vote, things of that nature. Just really push the envelope, right? Let's knock on some doors. Let's talk to our representatives. But with that, I'm gonna take a step back and I'm gonna introduce to you all the life of the party. Lee and Adam, they're gonna be talking about the inside organizing department. We're gonna talk a little bit about some of the things we're excited for this year and how you all can get involved. Thank you. Yeah.
What up, everyone? Rock, paper, scissors.
You cheated
I don't know
last
who
time.
play. I don't know who play.
Dance off. What's the dance off?
But like we spoke about as far as inside organizing, we are responsible for just educating our people that's inside, workshops, different things like that. And so we got some things lined up. I'm gonna read because I got notes right here. We got. Oh, you can speak about it.
Go ahead.
No, speak about community connects that we got going on.
So one of the things about Community Connects, we like to go into the institutions, we like to create a 2-day event that brings in a lot of other organizations that are participating. We like to have music, food, but we also tell them how they can get involved civically from inside prison, plus their family members, how they can get involved inside of prison. And so this year, we have goals of doing two of those. We did one last year in CCWF. This year, we're starting off in High Desert. We're going up to High Desert State Prison, and we're gonna do one over there. And it's gonna be live. We're gonna have a live band there that's gonna be happening all through the weekend. We're also gonna have food that's gonna be provided for the folks that are incarcerated and is attending. We're gonna have games. We're gonna have a sound bath. We're gonna have like some medication stuff for them. We're gonna just throw it up there this for a full weekend up in the end of March. And then we have a couple of other target institutions that we're gonna do later on in the year.
Right on, for sure. And as time progresses, right, when we know that different things are involved in the prison system now, people are able to have tablets, right? And so before we would do something that was called, you can call snail mail, where we would mail in curriculums for people to become inside organizers. Pretty much inside organizer, you are doing a lot of civic engagement, but just in prison. So the same thing that outside organizers, volunteers that you all are doing is some of the same thing that people that are inside organizers are doing, but specifically with Initiate Justice. So we have a curriculum that breaks all that down, right? And so what we did was we ended up being able to put that inside of the prison system to where it's digital. So now they have Indobo, Edobo, which is an app where they can learn different learning platforms, and Initiate Justice are now inside. So what that does is expands our reach to, instead of talking to maybe the 200 people in a workshop that's spreading the word, right now we are talking to actually thousands, I almost said millions, but thousands of people digitally, right? Where they can actually learn how to become an inside organizer, and they no longer have to go through the whole process that they used to do, where they fill out their name, send it to us, and sign them up, and we have to make copies and different things like that. So, that's just a huge plus. Shout out to Initiate Justice for even doing that, because that's a big platform to be on inside of the prison system. So,
I got one more.
yeah, go for it.
One more thing that we're really excited about compared to that work with the policy department, is we've created an inside bill clinic. Through this bill clinic, it's a robust procedure. It's an all-year process where we help folks not only come up with bill ideas, but also do the research, draft bills, and then we're going to go ahead and push those bills and try to promote them. So those can be sent up to the legislators. Maybe we can grab an author or two. Currently, we have 3 bills that we're shopping around right now that have been drafted, been researched, been formulated by people completely inside that are incarcerated. And so that's something that we're super excited about this year, that we're going to continue with that process.
Yeah, with that, we just want to continue to show up the way we do. Something else that I want to highlight is inside, we like to send newsletters where we update our inside organizers every month on what's going on, from whether it's with legislation or something taking place like an event like this, et cetera, et cetera. So that's something that we send in. And so we are doing a facelift with that, which means we're going to make it look a little bit more better. And once again, keeping up with times to make sure that we can just capture people's attention to get involved, So that's what I want to say, and I just want to acknowledge, shout out to the former inside organizers that's here. That was inside.
How many former inside organizers here present with us or on Zoom?
So
Raise your hand.
That's what we do, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it, and I'll pass it over to Lee as a former OG IO. I'm just saying.
One last thing, for you guys, your family members, your loved ones, one way the folks inside can get involved with what we're doing with the inside organizing program. Hit them up, tell them that they can go on Adobo. We're now live on Adobo, so they can go through the process on Adobo, or also they can just reach out to us, Lee or Adam at initiatejustice.org. Their family members, their loved ones, we'll make sure that we get those curriculums into them, or at least get them on the right page to be able to get involved. And same thing with their family members and loved ones. You guys out here, friends, everybody else, just tap in with this, man. We're more than willing and able to be able to kind of bring you guys in, helping you guys out, and making sure that you're plugged in. If it isn't with us, with the right organization, that's going to be most beneficial for you guys too. What's up? Hang on. There's another former inside organizer right there.
Hey.
That's it. That's all I got.
Next time we want to see y'all here. Y'all have a good evening.
Okay, I'm gonna hop in next.
Wait, I was gonna
I
say.
know I'm next, so I'm just gonna.
I was actually typing in the chat. If you have any questions for each or any department, if you're here present, we're gonna have some space for that. But we also, if you're in the chat, feel free to drop them in the chat. And again, like, to learn more, again, just connect with them. I know they drop their emails. Each department will have their emails, or just reach out to myself. With that, I'll pass it over to our outside organizing department, our statewide advocacy manager, Adriana Griffith.
Hey.
All right, y'all. Hey, I'm gonna be brief. If you know me, you know I like to be mindful of time. Okay, so just by a quick show of hands, both on Zoom and here in person, how many folks know about our Institute of Impact Leadership? Okay, so a few people know about it, but most everybody's like, what are you talking about? What does that mean?
We got some flyers here for y'all in person.
Awesome. Okay, so before I get into what's coming within the outside organizing, just a brief information about our Institute of Impacted Leaders. So our Institute of Impacted Leaders is a 12-week or 3-month advocacy and organizing training program specifically for folks who have been directly impacted by incarceration. So what this means is if you have been incarcerated before, either in county jail, state prison, federal prison, whatever other type of incarceration system, juvenile, whatever, that means you qualify. You also qualify if you have a loved one who is formerly or currently incarcerated in any of those systems as well. And the reason why we do that is because, again, Initiate Justice believes that when we go after the folks that have been most impacted by incarceration, we can end it. And so that's what the Institute of Impacted Leaders is all about. It's all about arming and equipping our community with the tools and the knowledge and the resources needed to advocate at the state level with our assembly members, with our senators to change state laws, bring our folks home, close prisons, all of those things and everything else in between. And so we teach folks these skills, not just in the policy process, but also in community organizing. So how do we come together as impacted community members and make these changes? Where do we even start? What does it even mean to organize as a community member? Right? And so that's what we talk about in the Institute of Impacted Leaders. We also talk about, hey, what are even our rights when we're going through the reentry process, or when our loved ones are going through the reentry process, or how do we advocate for our loved ones that are still currently incarcerated, right? So we talk about a myriad of these things that we can do to advocate and get our folks home. And so I say all that to say, we have hosted, how many is it, 21 cohorts of the Institute of Impacted Leaders since the first one that we did way back in like 2019, I think it was 2018, 2019. And so we are going into a brand new year where we are going to be hosting 2 new cohorts this summer. And so they are going to be hybrid cohorts. We do have some ideas on where these cohorts are going to be, but we're not announcing them this yet.
Stay tuned.
So stay tuned, right? But they will be hybrid, which means that it will be halfway on Zoom and the other half will be in person. And what's really great about the Institute is that we also take our participants and our previous graduates to Sacramento for a lobby day in the middle of the cohort. And so just to segue, that's what you can expect from our outside organizing department this year is 2 more cohorts graduated in the state of California for the Institute of Impacted Leaders. Our 3rd in-person lobby day, because previously we were doing everything on Zoom and we had these Zoom town halls, virtual town halls that we were doing because it wasn't safe enough to get folks in person at the time. Now that we're kind of years away from the pandemic, we're able to get back in person. So our 3rd year of going up to the Capitol, each year we get better and better and better. So we're really good forward to being back up there this year. Something that our, like I said, our institute participants and our previous organizers participate in. We are also planning to do spring meet and greet visits with legislative offices. So these are type of visits where you go and you're not necessarily discussing a piece of legislation or a bill or an issue. It's really just an opportunity to get to know who your legislator is. Every single legislator has an office at the state capitol, but they also have one that's in their district that they represent. So Los Angeles, Orange County, San Fernando Valley, wherever the case may be. I'm trying to think of what's down here because I'm from the north. So I'm like, what's and so
And there are 120 offices, there are 120
Exactly.
licenses, and some offices who have big districts actually have 2 in-district offices because their districts are big.
Some
So
people
there
have
are
3.
120 plus
Yeah,
district offices where you can connect with your legislator depending on the district. you're in.
absolutely. So we started this last year, something to do where we expanded it not just with our outside organizers, but also with the general community. And so what this is you get the opportunity to sign up to join a visit that might be happening in your area. You don't need any experience, you don't need any prior knowledge or anything. We provide all the materials and training. That will be happening during the spring recess, which happens at the end of March, going into the beginning of February. So it's not something we've announced yet for signups, but again, this will be coming out very, very soon. So if you are an outside organizer and you graduated, be on the lookout for my sign up form because you guys are gonna be the ones to lead these visits. And then everybody else who is not a graduate of Institute simply gets to participate and experience and just gonna show up and get to know their legislators in their office and see what they're all about. Some of the other things that we have going on this year for outside organizing, if I can get my notes to come up right. Also, we're going to be doing advocacy and organizing workshops. So we did these last year, we're gonna do them again this year. These workshops are all about breaking up the information that we have in the Institute of Impacted Leaders in smaller chunks. So we recognize that even though it's for our community, everybody's not able to dedicate 3 months, 12 weeks to a program. And so we kind of broken it up and it allows people who can't commit to that longer program to still get a little bit of that information. And it also opens it up to people who may not be directly impacted and not qualified for Institute, but they still want to have this information and get the sort of IJ skill set. So we're gonna be doing 4 of those this year throughout California. So again, stay tuned for where those locations will be. But we're really excited to do those again this year. Also, for our outside organizers specifically, so for our graduates of the Institute of Impacted Leaders, which again is an incentive for folks to take Institute of Impacted Leaders.
From the outside organizers present or on Zoom, raise their hands.
In person, and I definitely see a few on Zoom. And so we're going to be bringing back those that maybe weren't outside organizers pre-2021 might not know about this. But we used to do an outside organizer meeting where we bring our graduates together at the end of the year and just sort of talk and strategize about what it's gonna take to move the work forward. And so one of the things that we really wanna do this year, we tried to do it last year, and in full transparency, capacity, we weren't able to make it happen. But this year, we really wanna bring that convening back. And so for all of my graduates, I'm looking at you, Darla. I'm looking at everybody who's graduated, right? Danny, I see you on Zoom. We are going to be trying to bring this back. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And last but certainly not least, part of that is to bring back or increase the amount of participation and involvement our outside organizers have with planning our events, our meetings, all of those different spaces. And so I know I sent out, some of y'all already got my email about helping out with the curriculum for Institute of Impacted Leaders. And so there's gonna be more opportunities for graduates of the Institute to become involved. So in short, once you become a graduate of the Institute of Impacted Leaders, it opens up an ability to be involved more so with the organization in a leadership role. So you have the ability to lead legislative visits for lobby days and meet and greet visits. You have the opportunity to help and plan and support some of these events, workshops, things like that, even host them in your own areas if you would like. And so those are a lot of the things that we have planned for the outside organizing department this year in 2026. We're really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. Speaking of just for lobby day, I'm got a free sample of one of those Mr. fans because it gets really hot in Sacramento in the summer. So I'm really excited to have some of those for everybody that's joining, so we don't have to die in the heat this year. Yeah, right. So yeah. So sign up for the Institute of Impacted Leaders if you have not already done so. If you would like more information, again, we do have the flyer there, but I am also here until we're not here anymore tonight. So if you have questions, please feel free to find me. I'll also drop my email into the chat you did, thank you, everybody. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, or if you're like, hey, I know a whole bunch of people that wanna take Institute, bring it over here to where we are, reach out, let me know, and we can talk. I think that's about it. Are any questions, comments, concerns?
Reach out.
All right, I don't think you can. All right, thanks, y'all.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Before I'm actually up next with our outside membership department, before you hear from some of the things that we're looking forward to doing this year, I do want to give space for 2 of our other staff members to introduce themselves. Shivani.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shivani Deshar, Sheer Pronouns. I'm the new policy associate at Initiate Justice. So
I started last year and started last year. Yeah, like a community first with all of you.
Thank you. And from there.
I'd like to see so many familiar faces, a bunch of new faces. For those who don't know me, my name is Antoinette Ratcliffe. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am currently the executive director here at Initiate Justice. And I'm super grateful to be in space with all of you. You'll probably hear a little bit more from me later, but just a brief introduction to my Zoom folks. Sorry.
We're figuring it out.
Some new faces, some new folks. Nice to see you all, and thanks for joining us tonight. You'll hear more from me later. Thank you.
All right. Let's keep us going here. We do want to make space for some of y'all to share some of your goals this year, whether it's personal, whether it's with the organization that you're probably working with. We do want to hear from you all. This year for outside membership, and what a way to kick it off. Can we all get a round of applause for each other here today? Thank you all for joining us in person. This is one of our goals. This is something I'm very much excited for. I told you we are navigating this tech issue. You should have seen me 15 minutes before this meeting. I was stressed out, but we made it happen. We're working it as we go along, but this is it. The hybrid meetings, right? We want to bring hybrid community meetings. And before the chat goes off on me, from my Bay Area, Northern Cali, further down south, we do want to bring these type of hybrid community meetings to other regions. So we want to do 6 of these hybrid community meetings this year in other regions. So you will find me in some of your areas where our folks down south or here from LA will be joining us on Zoom and will be in person. So I'm excited for that. Again, just to build community, be in space with each other, break bread with each other, and just continue to build. Another thing I'm very much excited for, a couple years ago, we started our first ever Mother's Day brunch. We will be hosting our 3rd annual Mother's Day brunch for impacted women, for all mothers, right? But since we do work with impacted families, I do want to work with our impacted mothers, our impacted women. I see a lot of you all here in person, on Zoom. So let's definitely connect because we're planning on that soon. Something we're going to do for the first time this year, our first ever Father's Day brunch event for all the fathers out there. We do want to have that. And by the way, for some of these events, like y'all are going to be hearing from me. Like I want to know how we can serve you, right? What would this event look like? So definitely you will be hearing from me. We want you all involved. Again, you are our community. We are one community. So you will be hearing from me for these. Another thing, and it's still in the planning process, but we're going to get it going. I'm very much excited for. One of the things we used to do here is spend a big bulk, which I've shared a little bit about who Initiate Justice is. You have heard from some of our departments a little bit, and I say a little bit from what they do because everyone here does a lot. But I want to create a space for our new members, right? For folks joining us for the first time, in person, virtual, folks who just hear about us and want to connect. I want to create a space for you all to come here in person in the office, hang out, learn more, ask questions, things of that nature. So as I mentioned, feel free to reach out to me, Efrain at initiatejustice.org for that. If it's your first time here, if you have any questions after this meeting, feel free to reach out to me. And one of my biggest goals is collaboration. I can't stress enough how important it is to be community, how important it is to do this work. The beast that we're up against that's always trying to, continue to punish us, collaborating with community partners. So you yourself, if you're in the Zoom right now, or you're here in person, work with another organization, talk to me, let's talk, let's collaborate. We will, like we did last year, for those of For those of you that have been around, last year we invited some of our community partners to share their resources. Ways to get involved with them as well. Because again, we got to continue to build together. So those are some of the things I'm excited about for this year. With that, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, or we can connect after this as well. And they can call you get perfect.
Not yet.
Okay, with that, I'll actually pass it over to our policy department, which is a big thing about what we do, right? Change these laws. So I'll pass it over to Liz and Shivani.
Hello, everybody. So I guess we'll start with, goals. So we know that systems is really what we're dealing with, right? Most of our struggles come from oppression in our system. Right?
Don't forget about our Zoom people.
This natural oppression is. So our goal is to not just fight it within ourselves, but to be able to enable all of you to do that. Right? So we're working with inside organizing, outside organizing, comms, like all of our departments within IJ, to be able to inform us, to know how to create policy to do that. But not just for us to do that, but for all of you all to know how to do that too. So I think one of our goals, mainly, is to be able to invite all of you to work with us, in making sure that we make sure you're informed in how to do legislative process. So we want to make sure that we're working with Institute of Impacted Leaders, that we're working with inside organizing, to going into the facilities to making sure that everybody inside knows how to do legislative process. And even if you're not part of Institute or inside, if you just want to work with us to know how to do legislative process, just be a part of the process with us. So we're all little armies going in there to make change together. That's really the goal of policy, right? And so whether we're educating, building campaigns, doing media, I mean, that's really the whole point for us to impact change so that when Shivani and I are long gone, you guys can carry the torch and be able to create change for the next generation and the next generation and so on and so forth. So that's really the goal. I think some of the initiatives that we have, and I want to pass the mic to you too. Policy Corner is something I think that is a good opportunity for all of you to join us. Policy Corner is something where we want to work with moms to have an avenue, something like this, where we're inviting you all to Zoom in with us, hopefully once a month. Making sure that we're having something on our website, so we're updating you on policies that we're hoping to push in the legislature, opportunities for you all to weigh in, learn about certain things like terms of art in the legislature. What does it mean to be in committee, and what's like a term of art that we should help them know? Terms of art, political words. Right? Me too. Getting you all involved so that you can be part of this army, so that we can make sure that change is happening. So that's Policy Corner. Some other.
We're also going to be doing quite a bit of defensive work this year. We say that more and more every year, but that primarily means killing bad bills. There is a lot of bills that we try to push, that our partners try to push, that are positive. They help our communities. They reduce the impact of mass incarceration in general. There's a lot of bad bills that are trying to have more criminalization, have more enhancements, put more people behind walls, behind bars. And we are on the front lines of doing that defense. And so you all already probably got an email earlier last week from Adriana to send letters, right, against one of those bills. And so there's going to be a lot more engagement opportunities, both virtually and at the Capitol, to do some of that defensive work, as well as supporting our bill, which we will be sharing with everyone in a month or so. So that's also exciting.
Yeah, so we're finalizing our bill package. We are hoping that happens in the next couple of weeks. And this is just for this legislation, but Dolly can speak to the fact that she was very involved in our bill making process with the proposals. So I highly encourage all of you to think about what laws do you feel like needs changing, right? What laws have impacted your life to where you're like, I need to change this law and I want to be a part of making that law different, right? And you can start working with us for next year on what policies you might want to change with us. Because we want to make sure that our bill packages are informed by our community, whether it's inside or outside. And we want to work with you so we know that our bill packages are the ones that are impacted by all of you, and it's representing our community. So that's policy, that's policy. Thanks, everybody.
And for you all that just heard our policy package, we will be launching that. That'll be for our March community meeting, so don't forget to join us there. And I will say that we are coming up to Sacramento for March. Location to be determined, still working on that. But we do want to bring it up to the capital. So for Sacramento folks or Northern Cali folks that are here joining us today, look out for that because we will be in person out in the Sacramento. With that, I'll pass it over to Michelle, our comms manager.
Want to make sure I'm in frame so everybody can like I said earlier, my name is Michelle Cleveland. I'm the comms manager here at IJ, and essentially my job is to story tell the work. What everybody said today, my job is to communicate that via our website, our social media, our specifically like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, those emails that you get that everybody was talking about. I helped create them alongside him. And I also produce our podcast, Abolitionist for Everybody. I think some of y'all have listened to it before. So I am behind, I do everything besides the co-hosting on that. So in that, one of the goals that I have for this year is to launch season 5 of Abolitionist for Everybody. This next season will be about we'll focus on stories of transformation and healing, specifically from people who are formerly incarcerated, who have caused harms, specifically harms that they're quote unquote more serious harms, and we want to hear from them and see how in their day-to-day lives they live abolitionist lives and are transformed. Because often in the media we hear that these people are not remorseful, that they have not changed, that prisons don't do anything and they should be locked away forever because they're dangerous to society. And the podcast of season 5 is going to change that narrative. So when the time comes, I would love for you all to listen, to share it with everybody. Another one of our goals, or my goals for this year, is to expand the resource hub on our website alongside Shivani. So we're going to be creating a lot of more accessible resources for you all, specifically related to policy, voting rights, also along with Liz, our policy director. But yeah, my job is just to story tell what everybody else is doing. I'm more behind the scenes, as y'all can tell. I don't really come out in like the video that I'm trying to come out of my shell a little bit. But they are the start of the show. But yeah, that's a little bit about comms. My goals for the year. If you have any questions, I would love to chat afterwards.
So who's ready to do some TikToks right now?
I need a lot of people to be in it. You don't have to talk. If anybody's down, I would let it be super fun. But
y'all on Zoom, get ready, all right? When we come to your region, when you join us in person, get ready. We're gonna do some TikToks. We're gonna record some audio. We'll be in frame. That was such a awesome. Let's keep us going with that. We do have some Initiate Justice, just organizational goals, some things that we're excited for, that we wanted to share with you all. Some of you all may know, but for that, I'm gonna bring our own executive director, Antoinette Ratcliffe.
Okay, take leadership from my comms manager and be in frame. All at the same time, bear with me because I move around a lot, I talk with my hands. And sometimes I can start to talk really fast.
City in America that isn't on Google Maps Street View,
It's like
north of
raise
us.
your
It's the
hand up.
wealthiest city in Minnesota.
After I name Antoinette Radcliffe, the executive director. And my job essentially is to make sure that all of this can happen. And that we can continue to achieve all of the things that bring us closer to a world that does not rely on prisons in the first place. And so as Michelle mentioned, right, our narrative change work that's happening through the Abolitionist for Everybody podcast, that is a testament to like all of you here, right? Like there are so many people in this room that have lived stories of transformation that the world needs to know about. And that is how we get closer to an abolitionist future. So as all of these things are collectively moving us toward ending incarceration, we're doing it by activating your power. But there are some of the things behind the scenes that help us get there. And so a little bit about some of the goals or why or changes or things that you will see. One, I don't know if I see any folks on Zoom from our new board of directors, but Initiate Justice has just onboarded 8 new members to our board of directors. 3 have retained, so we still have Medea, we still have Jonathan, we still have Jay. However, 2 board members have departed. One I know that you all know very well or may have heard of, our founding executive director, Taina Vargas, is no longer on our board, but she has helped to develop a new board of 11 board members that's going to continue to steward this organization forward in pursuit of our mission to end incarceration. And so what that looks like is you'll be meeting and seeing new faces as we introduce those new board members and our returning board members to you all in the community. So we would love for you, as you're seeing whether those posts are being posted on social media or whether you're receiving the emails, learning about our board members, to engage, to connect, and get to know the folks who are going to continue to support me, support this board, and stewarding the next sort of 10 years of our journey. Because that's another thing. Initiate Justice is turning 10 years old in September of this year. And so we, alongside Alyssa and our comms and all of our programs teams, will be curating a 10-year celebration, one that we want you all to be involved in, one that we want you all to support in various ways, the planning and the development of. And so that is something to come down the pipeline for this year. So if that's something that excites you or that interests you, or if you've been a long-time supporter of Initiate Justice for the past 10 years, like, talk to us, connect with us, and get engaged as we continue to move these goals forward. Something else that you will be seeing in terms of organizational updates is, as many of you may know, and some of you may not know, while Efrain is currently our membership and outreach coordinator, he was formerly in our inside membership department. We will be hiring for our inside membership department. So this is the department that you didn't get to hear from today. Or you might have, I was late. So, okay, so you didn't get to hear from today, but we send a political education resource journal or magazine inside to over almost 40,000 incarcerated people across the state 4 times a year. We receive mail on a myriad of different things, from resources, updates on bills and legislation, requests for support with re-entry resources, requests for support with board of parole hearings, and a plethora of other things. And so our inside membership department and the person that we hired to continue to move our inside membership work forward will be responsible for responding to that mail, receiving that mail, helping to curate and draft that journal alongside our communications manager and the rest of our team. And so you will be the primary point of contact for thousands of currently incarcerated people who are wanting to stay connected, engaged, and wanting to build and learn new tools to advocate for their own freedom, as I know many of you all here today have done at some point. So hiring will be something else coming down the line. Speaking of our folks inside, we recently released our latest report, The Road to Democracy, Honoring Incarcerated Voices and the Right to Vote. And this is another effort in our continuous goal to amplify the voices of those who are most impacted, and ultimately to restore voting rights to people who are currently incarcerated. And so it illustrates the desire of folks who are currently incarcerated to vote. We did a similar report several years ago in about 2018, and it compares the results from that report to the results from this recent survey that was completed by over 1,100 currently incarcerated people. And the attitudes remain the same. People inside want to and have the will to vote. And so how do we as a collective, how do we as a community here in California make that a reality for folks who are currently incarcerated? So that report, we will be leveraging it to host briefings in Sacramento, leveraging it to host collaborative roundtables and discussion with some of our academic leaders, leveraging it to host community town halls with all of you to start to continue the conversation around how do we actually create a democracy in California that is truly inclusive. Because while 90,000 people are locked out of it, it is not a real democracy. So how do we get to a real democracy? So that is some of the work that we will be doing collectively alongside all of you, and as an organization. Speaking of voting rights, we will also be finding new ways and exploring new ways to empower and engage people who are most impacted, who do have the right to vote currently. So people who are on parole, as many of you know, in 2020, we passed Prop 17. So if you are on parole, you can vote. If you are not registered to vote, see me after this.
Yes.
No, but so how are we making sure that people are aware? Because we know that folks inside are not, or you know, whether it's COs, whether it's your parole officer, they may not be telling you that you have the right to vote. However, we have moved the Secretary of State recently, as of last year, to designate the Division of Adult Parole Operations as a voter registration agency. So parole offices should, in fact, be helping you register to vote. And so if they're not helping our community register to vote, how do we make sure that is happening, and what can we do to fill that gap? So that is some of the work that we will also be doing. And then I think being mindful of time, the last thing that we will be doing as an organization, and like myself included, will be stewarding, and we will be doing a lot more fundraising this year. So we have a goal of raising $2.5 million to continue to sustain this work this year. And so you'll be hearing from us regarding fundraising opportunities, fundraising events, things of that nature, connecting with some of our donors, building those relationships. Some of you in this room have donated at some point, or on Zoom have donated at some point to our work. And so how do we continue to build a sustainable movement that gets us closer to a world without prison under the leadership of people who are most impacted by it? So in a nutshell, those are some of the organizational updates or goals and priorities for 2026. I know that FIA's goal is ultimately to create space for you all to also connect and commune with us and with one another. So I will stop there unless there are questions, concerns, or others. That was a lot. I know I talk fast. I'm not yelling at stuff. I'm gonna make sure everybody can hear me.
Oh, I know what you're yelling at.
Never know. Never know that them y'all. All right, I'll pass this back to FJ.
All right, so who's excited for 2026? Right?
Y'all wait a minute. Y'all wasn't live.
See those emojis in the chat. Who's excited for 2026? Right. As Antoinette mentioned, I think this is a big goal. Just to continue to build together, continue to be in space with one another, continue to get to know new people with shared goals, right? That want to change the system that oppresses us, right? Because we can turn on the TV, and I do want to acknowledge this. We can turn on TV right now and see all the chaos that's going on in the world, right? But I'd much rather be here right now, right? I'd much rather be in a space with people I know want to change the system, that are willing to fight for the system. For you folks that are joining us, right? We want to create this space. I know driving in today, we saw what was happening down in Compton. Another situation, right, with ICE. what happened in Minnesota, Renee Good, what happened here in the San Fernando Valley, right? They're out to, we're facing a big monster, like I said. But again, we do want to just make sure that we have to come together to make these changes, right? Voter engagement, as Antoinette said, I think that's like a big one for us, right? Because we're still sometimes, I know I'll speak for myself, I'm in these spaces sometimes, and folks are still talking about like, oh, I can't, I ask them to register to vote, and they still don't know if they have the right to vote. Like, oh, I'm a felon, or I'm this, right? Um, but I think it's on us to have these conversations. It's on us to create these spaces, to educate our community members. It's on us to make this change. So this is what I'm looking forward to, is continuing to build this. And yeah, like I said, we're very much excited for 2026.
I paused, but you just mentioned something that's really important that I do want to touch on real quick, is that piece around voter engagement. And I do want to name that I think it's important for us all to think about how we can be informed voters all the time, right? And so one of those things, and something that like we can help you do here at Initiate Justice, and there's other resources and tools out there that can help you do it, is also being aware of what your legislators, what decisions they're making all the time, not just come election time, because they're going to tell the story and run on platforms or run for re-election on platforms of what they know people are going to respond to, right? They do polling that informs, here's the messaging that you should use to get the voters that you want to get, right? But our job as constituents is to actually always be aware of what it is that our legislators are doing with the power that we have invested them with or voted them into office to do. And that way, then come election time, we're prepared to either get them out of there if they are not moving in a way that is helpful for our society, or support them if they are. And so I do want to share real quick. We here at Initiate Justice, we cannot tell you who to vote for, who not to vote for. We can just tell you to be informed and make sure that you get your opinion and your voice heard. However, IJ Action, our C4, does a lot of that electoral work. And so they actually also have a scorecard that they just released, a legislative scorecard that can actually tell you, based upon criminal justice related bills, how your legislator did last year. And so I would highly encourage you all to use those resources that are available to you. And if any of you are actually in LA, they will be mailing those scorecards to all 120 legislators tomorrow down the street. And so if you want that information, you can connect with me same time, but at our C4 IJ Action down the street, they'll be mailing those scorecards. You can also get familiar with those scorecards for yourself. Additionally, How Matters just released, it's called Digital Democracy, but it's called My Legislator. Y'all, I get weekly emails about my senator and my assembly member about what they voted on, quotes from things they said in committee in the Capitol when maybe I wasn't there to hear it, bills that they're leading, opinions that they've shared publicly. Like, I am now tracking my legislators weekly as if I wasn't already tracking their decision with all my P's and Q's. So I would highly encourage you all, and I think that website is calmatters.org/my-legislator. So if you want that, let me know. But we need to be keeping an eye on our decision makers, and we talk about it at the state level, but y'all, this happens with your city council, your county board of supervisors, your school board. There you go, your school boards. All of those things matter, and let them know that you're watching and you're paying attention. And even though you are someone who may be impacted by this system or not, that hey, I see you. And I want to make sure that you are making decisions that are truly reflective of all your communities, not just the ones who are the loudest, because we can be the loudest in numbers. We can be the loudest, and we can make sure we're heard, but are they seeing us every single day or all the time in our communities? And so that's something else that I just wanted to name that we're going to be as a collective, as an organization, kind of thinking about ways that we can do more of that and create opportunities for you all to be paying attention to your legislators all the time, not just election time, because you're gonna hear from them right now. It's an election year, you're gonna hear from a lot of them. But we encourage you to always be engaged. So, sorry, you mentioned.
Thank you. I love it when you get fired up. You ready? See that? She's ready. With that, we do have about 30 minutes left. Again, one of the ways I envisioned this was really opening it up because we want to hear from you all, right? We're excited here at Initiate Justice. You know, many of us have our own personal goals as well. But we also want to hear from our community, right? So I will open up the floor here in the virtual space if you can raise your hand. But what is maybe something it could be a project that you're working on, perhaps within your own organization. It could be something that you're excited for, you're doing in your own personal life this year. Like, what are some things that you're excited for this 2026? Feel free to introduce yourself. If you do work for an org, go ahead and say. But yeah, do I have any takers? Not everybody jump up at once. Awesome.
Where are you?
Let me make sure they can hear you.
Also your name.
Joanne, so we know me as Joanne. I'm part of a couple of organizations. I'm part of Nichols Inn. I'm part of a city organization that's nonprofit with my husband and another member, which we're investigating better now. And that was a big, Friday with some powerful women. I started with the She Industrial Movement Rights. Way.
Yes.
I was part of the bachelor last year. And from the fact that I was there, so that kind of brought me back to this. I've been knowing about Jake Justice forever. My husband's incarcerated on a 25 life sentence. He's been done doing 26 years. He's got it once twice. Not that it matters, it's still in the center population. Prison, and he recognized his crimes based off that. So that's part of why I'm involved. He's involved there with one of the judges in Sacramento and Scott Whitehouse, who is all tables. Scott Whitehouse is parole. We have been generally meetings with him, one of the strategies in different commissioners. So that's what it brought me back to legislation. I was always afraid to come because, oh no, we don't qualify for convention, we don't qualify for non-convention, we don't, but it does something people and I don't help people that's for body. So thank you for space.
Thank you. Real quick, huge shout out to, I know Danny's on Zoom. I don't see Angel and I don't see Sandra, but three phenomenal powerhouses who are our very own outside organizers. And I didn't mention, I graduated the Institute of Impact Leaders back in 2019. So shout out to our phenomenal organizers. Thank you so much for being inspiration. We look forward to seeing how we continue to build collectively together and achieve freedom for your loved one.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing. Anyone else would like to share?
I'll introduce myself.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, folks, if you can, just speak up because we do have folks joining us in Zoom.
They wanna.
She's used to getting.
But my students are like, oh God, and I'm sure they all have decibel problems.
What did I hear?
So my name is Akila Anand. I'm a professor in the Department of Criminal Justice at Cal State LA. I don't know how I got hired there because I've been, I don't know, but we just don't ask too many questions. I get to be a way that students in the Department of Criminal Justice at Cal State LA, which is the biggest major at the university,
And like the end, like it's what keeps, anyway, budget, I mean, whatever. So I'm in a position of relative power and I get to expose students who might be going into a wide variety of fields, from policing to hopefully by the end of this semester, not policing. But it's a pleasure for me to always to come to these events. Last year I brought a handful of, or no, 2 years ago, it was a mixer. I brought a handful of students from another class. This year I get to bring a whole dozen of my students. Some them all introduce themselves because we are breaking this generation in and down. That's what we're doing. So a good number of them will be placed here to work, to do the extraordinary work that you all, and help you all, support you in all the ways. And for you also to remember, just keep reminding yourself that I'm here as a resource to you all. And yeah, I love this space, and I've been here. I have been bringing students to these kinds of events and the monthly meetings since Taina was executive director. She took a whole semester of online students, like COVID times. She was like, "I'll take 15 students." I think you were supervising. It was we took a break. I wrote and my friend answered us. Hopefully not though. Hopefully not. So I'm really excited to meet you all. I'm really excited to support the work here. I think it's life changing and city changing. I love you. You're good.
I want to know Wilson.
Hey.
Keep going.
Hi, everyone, I'm Meredith. Hi, I'm Catalina. Hi, my name is Dorcas.
Sure.
Yes. I just want to say I'm really excited to be here. I'm somebody who grew up impacted by the system because my parents were in there. And I always thought that being a police officer was the way to help. And then I realized, wait, that doesn't make sense at all. So I recently had like the epiphany, and I realized like I wanted to see things a different way. So I'm very interested in policy work, and it kind of led me to because I spoke up, and she like got in contact with me and it led me to one of my here. So I'm very happy to be I'm not but
So there we go.
Yeah, the student leaders. Yeah. Adriana.
Wait. What happened?
The impact leaders connect with Blanca. She's trying to connect.
I see y'all in the chat. We're raising your hand on Zoom. We'll get to you guys right now.
Yeah.
And just Adriana, see Blanca. Blanca, see Adriana.
I'll give you my card out of it.
Wait, you?
Okay, keep going.
my name is Andrew.
Welcome.
Oh, sorry. My name, please.
Welcome, Luis.
My name is Ashley.
Hi.
Ashley.
My name is Gracie.
My name is Kenya.
Welcome.
Show some love in the chat for these Cal State LA students. Ria.
Welcome.
All right. Going back into this hybrid mode. I see, I believe Paloma, you had your hand up first.
Yeah.
Yes, hi, my name is Paloma Serna. I'm the mother of Elisa Serna, who died in custody in November 11, 2019 in one of in the county jail here in San Diego at the Las Colinas. So out of that, I'm sorry. So out of that, out of her death, we also connected with other impacted families who lost a loved one in custody, and we created a nonprofit, Saving Lives in Custody, California. And so what we do, we help support impacted families. We refer them to attorneys who's actually who's litigating, who's actually helping, who's been successful, with cases like these, and also too, we help with protests, press release, media, all that stuff, too. But, we're fighting for justice. We fight against the statute of limitation, which is a thing that I would like to work on this year. I'm looking at the question, Project Compassion. Also, too, I had people reach out to us who are incarcerated, in the county and also in the prison, and also too, needing help. And also to my fiance, he's fighting 45 years to life, and we actually are helping him with we just filed in November a petition habeas corpus, so we're working on that. We're all impacted families, we're not attorneys, so this is something new. My daughter's case was a guinea pig case where the DA for the first time charged two individuals for her death, which they were not found guilty. And so my fiance's case is also a guinea pig case. We're working hard. We're working with other organizations. I'm actually in a process of writing a letter to, I need support for him. He was born in prison, and pretty much he will be dying in prison. And so I will be reaching out to other organizations. He has a second hearing February 4th. They're in Pomona. And so I will be there in person. He had nobody during his trial. And so I would like a lot of people to help support him. He doesn't have a lot of family and stuff like that. And so also too, our organization is are going to be really like focusing on mental health this year. And so we will be kicking a town hall meeting this Friday here in San Diego. And so, so I'm just looking at these questions. And so, like I said, we're just impacted families. We want change. We need justice. We need accountability. We need transparency. So, we're just fighting this out like you guys. And, I like this space, connecting with others and seeing how we connect and support each other and learn from each other. So I really do appreciate being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the work you do. I would say, Paloma, also, if you want, feel free to drop your email, or if you have the website for your organization in the chat for folks to connect with you. And I'll definitely say it. I can share it with our community that's joining us in person. Danny, I saw your hand up.
Yes, I just
And real quick, I just want to say, I know we dropped a couple prompt questions in the chat. You don't have to answer all of them. We do want to give space for everyone.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to tell Paloma, thank you for sharing your story. And I hope everyone can hear me. And I just wanted to tell, the staff of IJ, amazing work that you all do. And congratulations to the board. And I recognize some Essie sisters. That's right, Essie sisters. And I'm just so excited. I just came out of an Essie meeting, and we are actually having our member retreat this weekend. And Oka Butler and I are actually facilitating or moderating a session, and it's all about clemency and drop, fuel like LWOPs. And we talk about the numbers, and our guest presenters are actually amazing, from Ella Baker, Barbara, and Candace. So we're really excited, and maybe we'll share next time we get together and share food and share space, because this is powerful. And I just wanted to say that, we do a lot of collaborations. Yes, we're in a lot of spaces, and I don't get a lot of chance to spend a lot of time, especially with IJ. And IJ has a very special heart. I'm a member of the IJA, the Member Action Committee, and I'm so excited to start that year with them as well tomorrow night. I wanted to be there in person, you all, but I couldn't make it because of the Essie meeting. But I just wanted to say that My goal this year is really to spend more time. I would love to learn how to facilitate. And I say that with passion because facilitation is not about the facilitator, it's all about the participants. And really, the journey is not about us as leaders, as facilitators. It's all about you, the people that really do the work and do the action. And that's probably the only thing that I can say when it comes to leadership and facilitation. And that's the beauty of it, actually, because you see it in action. I heard about Lee, actually, and I wanted to tell him this story, but from Susan Bustamante. Yeah, I heard about you from Susan Bustamante, who I had breakfast with her because she lives by me. So I'm in Drop LWAP, and I do some work with Kelly Savage, Joe Bell, and all that group in there. But, you know, my point is community has no name. This is community. And you know, when we bring our loved ones home, when we get to welcome our loved ones home, it doesn't matter. But what matters is we have voices and we have the voices for the people inside. And so often when I visit and I have a loved one serving in LWAP, and his name is Marlon Gray. He's going to start his 40th year this year. And when I visit, we've been married for 18 years. I see families that question, how come this is happening? They don't know their rights. So I always say, what do you want to do first? And so if they need support, I got support. I want to learn how to advocate. Great. Do you know what that means? What can you do, right? So you know what? I got some resources for you. And that's what it's all about. It's not even about anything else except that person visiting that loved one, because it's all about connection. And I just want to appreciate, because I saw Melissa speaking earlier and I just love her, but I see you in a lot of spaces and I just have a lot of love for IJ, and I hope to spend more time with you all. I would love to be involved. And by the way, whenever I am at the democracy, when we do a lot of lobbying, I see you folks come in as the class. I'm like, dang, I wanted to be a part of that. I hate it. You know what? I hate it because I'm like, shit, I missed the freaking timing. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you. And I look forward to 2026. It's a powerful year. It's a year for change, and it starts now.
Yes. Thank you, Daniel. We love you too. Thank you, Daniel.
Huge shout out to Susan Bustamante, Kelly Savage, all of the other folks who dropped LWAP, Families United and LWAP, and for everyone, all the families, all the loved ones, folks who beat life case, who came home after the system told you that you wouldn't, and folks who are still fighting for the freedom of your loved ones. I see you. I'm here with you. I have a loved one. My brother is serving life without the possibility of parole plus 241 years. So I am with you. I am here and I see you. And just huge shout out to everyone who's doing the work, because it's hard. But together we can. So appreciate
awesome. Elias, I do see you on the thing. I'll go to you after. I do have want to let someone else. One of my good friends out here was Naselli for 5 years, Edwin.
Good evening, everybody. So I am with the Prism Way. My name is Edwin Struz. I am one of the peer support specialists, facilitators at Prism Way. So just a little bit about myself. I'm also a Castro LA graduate. Also part of the Prism graduation initiative and I got my master's in education studies. Golden Eagles! So we're an organization that's about 15 minutes walking distance from here, downtown LA. I think right now one of our biggest focus is the peer support specialist program. For those of you that have not heard about the program, it is a very new and very innovative program that was passed on by legislators in 2019. And it's essentially actual certification through the California Mental Health Services Administration that allows people with lived experience, whether you've ever dealt with mental health challenges, whether you've ever dealt with incarceration, with homelessness, with substance use disorder, to utilize your lived experience to help others in their recovery journey. And right now, our primary focus is really reaching out to a lot of the young individuals, people between the ages of 18 and 25. Cause, somebody like myself, I was young once upon a time, but nowadays, it's hard for me to connect with somebody who's 19 and 20. Because cultures have changed. And so really we're trying to reach out to this specific population. And, on another thing too, like all of us are justice impacted, my whole organization. I myself had a lot about the possibility of parole sentence when I was 17 years old. Serving 17 years, I was sentenced, and here I am now doing the work. And so we also do a lot of support group services at our space. On Tuesday evenings, we do post-incarceration support group. On Wednesday evenings, we do anger management. On Thursday evenings, we do, the CGA, like criminal thinking recovery groups. So these are open for anybody who come in. We really work with a lot of people who are either directly or indirectly impacted by the justice system. Meaning you were either directly incarcerated or someone like yourself whose parents or loved ones were incarcerated. Please come down to our space, check us out, speak to our community. And we're really looking forward this year to collaborating with more organizations. We're currently working something right now with Initiate Justice that, we're really forward to making things happen. To being able to provide other internship opportunities for young individuals, people who have been certified as peer support specialists, trying to get you all like hands-on training experience and just really start putting into that workforce development. So, if anybody's interested in connecting, please reach out to Efrain and he'll connect us. Other than that, man, thank you all for having me here. You guys amazing event. Also, I was a former inside member of Initiate Justice, and I am a recent Institute of Impact Leaders graduate. Thank you, folks. All right.
That's Edwin at theprismway.org. Edwin at theprismway.org. I don't need my inbox even more full. No, I'm just kidding. No. Reach out to me. I can connect you all as well. Elias, you're up. We do have like 7 minutes, so we do have time for like maybe one or two more before we close out.
Hi, thank you. I'm finishing up my evening run, so that's why I'm a little bit off camera, a little bit out of breath. But good to be here. I work for a major healthcare provider. I do government relations, and I actually used to work at the California State Legislature many years ago. So would love to lend my experience to help out this organization and its advocacy efforts. I am someone that's directly impacted by incarceration. My brother is serving life without parole, currently at Kern Valley State Prison, and he, after previously serving some 12 years in solitary confinement at Pelican Bay State Prison. So his work is hits close to home for me. He did get, unfortunately, caught up in the Rampart scandal of the LAPD back in the late 90s. So I'm looking to, right now, just looking for some attorneys to maybe see if we can get some relief through that manner. So if anybody knows anyone, we very much appreciate it. But yeah, happy to be a part and just to help support this organization's efforts.
Thank you so much. Shout out to former and current leg staffer. I see someone up where's
I and I had to leave.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No worries.
We did have
folks from the legislature that either formerly work or currently work that are joining us in space.
We had one of our staff members who's also formerly incarcerated from Assembly Member Al Hawari's office. He was here present, but he did tell me that he had to take off. But yeah, really shout out to you all. Elias, I was gonna say also thank you for sharing. If you need any like resources, again, we're not a direct service provider, but feel free to email me and maybe I can connect you with other people or resources or things of that nature. So feel free to email me.
And quick note, real quick for those who don't know, our co-founder, Tanya Vargas, actually previously worked for the state legislature prior to founding Initiate Justice. So again, like shout out to leg staffers. We say a lot how our legislators matter, but their staffers are just as important. Like this is why we say that.
Right. I know Darla. We have Darla, and I do see Kailan. You'll be after Darla. Just close, and then we'll be closing shortly.
What's up, IJ family? Nigga!
Oh, it's not Nikki.
Baby Liz, I see you up there, girl. Tap in. What's up, everybody? My name is Darla Jones. I am an alumni. I can alumni from IJ. I'm also the program director of Unity of Faith Global Fellowship Ministries. We're a boots on the ground justice ministry. We provide on the spot expungement and job placements from formerly incarcerated. Being one that I'm formerly incarcerated, this is home. We also have a justice advocacy board, recruiting or requesting for former lived experience, as well as attorneys who like to help but don't know how. Because once you go to law school, they teach you the administrative aspect, but not the role inside in the field. This is totally different. So we like to bring them on board as an advisory board to educate others about their rights, especially when you're on parole, because when we get out, they'll tell us, oh, just because you're out, you're still CDCR property. Yes, but we also still have rights. And a lot of people are not aware of that. And sometimes things get overlooked or people get abused a certain way, don't know how to make proper grievance to address those issues. So I just wanted to get that out there. If you guys are interested, my email address is darlajones@uofgfm.org. I'm on Facebook, Darla Jones Legal, and then see you there.
Hey. I do, as always, I do want to make sure we're on time, so we have time for one more. But I do want to say, just thank everyone for that shirt so far. Kylon, I hope I'm saying it right. Please correct me. Please correct me.
No, you're not. It's Kalon.
Kalon, got you. Thank you.
But thank you. I just want to say, for me to see what's going on right now is super awesome and humbling at the same time, and driving. So I'm the guy, along with Kenneth Washington and Kenneth Barksdale, and with the help of James Wilson in High Desert, that started the IJAG. When I encountered Initiate Justice, I seen them in a Bayview, and I seen what they was trying to do, and I asked the Bayview to contact me with Taina, and they did. And so I gave her the idea, like, if we start from within, each one person you get is like 3 to 5 to 10 people on the streets, and we had the time to do it. So for me to see this come to fruition is super awesome. I just got out 3 months ago after doing 28 years since I was a 17-year-old kid. I just want to say I appreciate you all. That's it.
We was listening. We was listening. Thank you so much and welcome home.
Yes, welcome home. Also, welcome home to all of our. Just want to say welcome home to all our community members who have recently came home and are able to join us here in person, virtually. Just really shout out for our community. We ain't stopping until we bring the rest of them home, right? I forgot about our brothers and sisters still inside. So, again, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you to those that are joining us virtually. We will see you soon in person. Guarantee that, right? We typically at the end of the meeting, we drop the link in the chat to register for the next meeting. You will get the link on the recap email, so look out for that. Stay connected to our social media, right? Especially we got some fun stuff, some funny stuff coming for y'all. Again, whoever wants to do a TikTok, y'all better stay. But thank you again. Thank you for making this kickoff event, as Antoinette kept calling it, a party. This is a party, right? We're gonna party. We're gonna take over. We're gonna change things this year. All of us together. So just again, thank you all for joining us today. With that, I'll let you all enjoy the rest of your evening. And everyone here, can everyone say bye to everyone in the Zoom? Bye, y'all. Y'all come out here to the Zoom.
Bye,
Feel free to
everybody.
come off mute.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye, y'all. Y'all are dope. Welcome home. We out here doing
Vicky, I
our
see
big one, people. Love y'all.
Richard, I see you.
Adam.
I love y'all.
Love y'all.
Okay, before you go to our, I have to be